destiny.
Every time it's on everything, alive, you cheesing, I'm cheddaring. No matter the form of the weaponry, gotta keep stalking my destiny. Time's getting worse, I'm bettering. My sin is secure, ain't no tethering. I ain't gon' stop till I rest in peace and they put support on my great lettering. Every time, I ain't lay back unless I'm in my 300. Circle is little, cause I keep it 100. Minus my issues, I'm so hard when I'm on it. 100% ain't enough, I get 200. Every time, know what I'ma run from. I'm that one opponent, you don't know none from. Manual vein where my strength get pumped from. So let's go ride to the child of God. Standing toe to toe, no hiding now. The Lord is with me, you can't fight the rock. I got the sauce, you want mile to hide. The destiny mine, I'ma stalk it out. The strength is having, you just bought it out. Your giant carcass, I'ma walk it out. You gon' be wishing that you wouldn't have called me out. Cause every time be on that throw down, let's get us a showdown. Come and get some, I got another go around. Big as they is, so hard they go down. Since destiny something we can't change, but quitting will stop you from great gains. And faith will make capable great things. I done decided to break pain. Lives around and call me on my A game, so speed like the A train. The path that I'm stalking on, I gotta maintain. I'm by myself, I don't gang bang. When you wanna get in my crown, then I'm down every time, not just now and then. Yeah, I heard you got your thousands, but me, yo, I got my 10,000s. God gave me dreams doing that I would chase them.
I'm steady chasing, I'm staying focused on what I'm gonna be. I'm making it up, but I won't lose hope. 'Cause I'm still stalking my destiny. I'm still stalking my destiny.
Hey, good afternoon, BFam1096.com. What up, y'all, at Facebook? And how y'all doing over there at YouTube? This is Tea Time with Tarah, live and on air. I am your host, Tarah M. Williams, the voice of faith, hope, love, and leadership. Here we discuss business and Bible basics. We believe you have a voice and it needs to be heard. If you haven't already, please be sure to head over to my YouTube channel at Stalk Your Destiny. Click the subscribe button. Also hit the notification bell to make sure that you're notified every time I go live, I cut it short, or I upload a new video or interview of the Tea Time with Tarah show. Again, I am Tarah M. Williams, the voice of faith, hope, love, and leadership. This is Tea Time with Tarah, live and on air. Y'all, we're here every Monday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 1 p.m. Central Time. So be sure to tell a friend every Monday that they can tune in to the show right here at BFam1096.com. How are y'all doing? I know I ask y'all all the time, but listen, communicate with me. Communicate with me. Let me know how you're doing. We don't say you have a voice and it needs to be heard for nothing. I want to know how you all are doing. And let me know, where are you tuning in from? Okay. I hope that you guys brought your journals, notebooks, pens, paper, whatever you need to take notes on. I hope that you brought your favorite drink. Mine is tea. Okay. So I hope you got a cup of tea or a cup of whatever brings you joy. And also, let me see. I hope that you have a positive mind today, y'all. I hope that you have a positive mind today. But let me know, where are you tuning in from? Is this your first time tuning in? Is this your multiple time tuning in? I know we have some favorites of the show. I know we have Ashley, Sheila, Renee, I believe. I think we had a Walter, Richard. And so thank you guys for always returning to the show, always checking it out. Be sure to share it with somebody who may need encouragement for their week, or who just may need something new to tune into. Okay. So let me know where you're tuning in from again. Put that in the chat or the comments below, y'all. Okay. Let's go right ahead into the affirmations. I'm gonna go right into the affirmations today. I think this show is gonna flow, y'all. I am a little bit tired, and I feel like I'm not prepped. But the funny thing is that that's when my producer says I have the best shows, like when I'm not ready. And I did prepare for this show ahead of time when I did the timesheet for the show. However, today I feel a little bit. I feel, you ever feel opposite the way that you think you feel? Like, I feel like today's a great day. In my mind, today's a great day. In my mind, I can't see that. Hey, Richard, thank you for commenting that you're tuning in from Arizona. And for always tuning in. Thank you so much. And so I feel like in my mind, I feel like I'm good. I'm having a great day. But in my body, I feel a little tired. Which kind of doesn't make sense, y'all, because I exercise today too, and I don't exercise when I'm physically tired. So sometimes we can be off balance with ourselves, and you got to just go with what you know. Okay. And so I'm gonna just keep this show going with the affirmations, which are sponsored by Tea Time Enterprises LLC. The world needs all you have to offer. And y'all, your company, your business, your employer, anybody can be a sponsor for any portion of the show. Hi, Sheila. She said she's tuning in from Germany. She said, I feel you. I had a hard time getting out of bed today, but I'm here. I'm so glad you're here. And the important part is that we get up, and if you can rest. Okay. So, what are your affirmations for today, y'all? Our affirmations are I am, I have, I will, and then we declare what kind of day we're going to have. You can put those in the chat or the comments as well. Okay. Today, my affirmations are I am who I believe I will be in the future now. For those of you watching and can see me visually, I'm dressed for who I really am internally. This is me, y'all, inside out. Okay. I did this before a couple weeks ago, or maybe last week or the week before. And I told y'all, present yourself, right? And so I am who I believe I will be in the future now. Okay. And God is just showing me and me showing up for myself and me being present, right? So I have the ability to change my point of view and outlook. Okay. I have the ability to change my point of view and outlook because even though life may not be where I desire it to be, my outlook is. And so I can operate from that focal point. Okay. I can operate from that focal point. So it says, I have the ability to change my point of view and outlook. Okay. Then I will embody all parts of my being that make me me. Okay. Everything that will make me me, the hair, the glasses, the jewelry, the everything, the stumbling over words sometimes, all of that, the quirkiness, weird, whatever. I don't care. I will embody all parts of my being that make me me because none of y'all can be me at the end of the day. And I can't be you at the end of the day. So, I embody all parts about me that make me me, even the parts I don't like. I embody them because they are mine. And I hope that you have that type of acceptance as well. Because if you don't like and love you, it's hard to receive what others are giving to you. Okay. And today will be a see it, believe it, be it day for me. Okay. And I hope that for you too. I hope that these affirmations are not just personal to me, but that they either inspire or motivate you as well. And I hope that you are doing your affirmations along the way also. Okay. If you all need help with the affirmations or just a place to put them to keep them in one spot, you can get my book, the Tea Time Daily Journal. I didn't bring one with me today, but you can get the Tea Time Daily Journal. That is a 30-day journal where you can write your affirmations in there. It's already set up for you to write your affirmations. It's set up for you to check in with how are you doing, what's on your mind. And it's set up for you to free write daily as well. Excuse me. And that's so that you can always be in tune with where you are, and how you're feeling, because so many times we go to people and we try to share with them how we're feeling or how we're doing, and it ends up either being all about the people or we end up being misunderstood. Sometimes we just need a place for our thoughts and emotions and our declarations for ourselves, our affirmations, to be private. Okay. So you can check out that Tea Time Daily Journal. That's one of the books that are on my website as well. And that's something that the affirmations actually comes from. I am, I have, I will, and declare what kind of day you are going to have. Okay. And I hope that it's beautiful too. I hope that you honor yourself and honor others as well. Okay. Or always seek to, okay, honor yourself and always seek to honor others as well. So our food for thought quote today, y'all, says this. It's brought to you by Stalk Your Destiny, where everything you want to become, you already are. Okay. And so this is what our food for thought quote says. It says, because it's simply human nature to remain more committed to a familiar discomfort than to an unfamiliar new possibility. And I may have done this quote before, I'm not quite sure, But it's from Lisa Nichols in her book Abundance Now. I'm gonna read it again, okay? She says it's simply human nature to remain committed to a familiar discomfort than to an unfamiliar new possibility. Okay. And so if we're talking about business and Bible basics, let's get to it then. The thought I just had was not the direction I was going to go, but we're going to go there anyway. Okay. With business and Bible, we stay at jobs too long. We stay at organizations too long. We stay in corporations too long. We stay in relationships too long. We stay in friendships too long. Okay. We stay in partnership too long with things that are not serving us. We stay in those places with things that are literally driving us insane or literally causing our hair to fall out, causing the health of our bodies and our emotional health as well to deteriorate. But we stay because it's what we're used to. We know how to navigate it, right? Some of us can come from, many of us actually, not some of us, many of us can come from childhood where we suffered different types of traumas, right? And because of those different types of traumas, we are acclimated to those behaviors. And we're, it's a learned, I was thinking this morning, I'm like, is it a learned behavior or, is it just a bad habit? But learned behaviors can be bad habits as well. Okay. And so we're comfortable with that because we're used to it. Like we have, for example, you have maybe men who have mothers who are abusive, right? And then they can deal with it, like it's not that bad, or whatever type of thing, right? And because they're used to it, they're used to navigating it. It was a way that they had to grow up, right? And then when they become older, they can be in domestic relationships with women. And the reason that they may stay is say, oh, she's okay, she's not that bad, is because that's what they were used to, and trained to and programmed to. And so we have to be mindful that just because this thing that is uncomfortable for me is familiar to me doesn't mean I have to sit in it, doesn't mean I have to stay in it. This is also why it's important for us to think forward. This is why for me showing up today as the me that I am on the inside, but pulling that outside, well, my circumstances, in life right now, to me, don't feel deserving of me. So it's easy to retreat. I'm going to say that again. Sometimes your circumstances in life may not feel the way you want them to be, feel the way that you are. They don't feel enough for who you are, right? And so you pull back. You pull back, right? You go inward versus showing up for yourself, versus saying, this is not working for me. I may love you. I may love this topic. I may love these things, but this situation is not for my good. Okay? Because it's simply human nature to remain more committed to a familiar discomfort than to an unfamiliar new possibility. So, I'll just say this because it came up again. Okay. Moving. I think I've told you all at the beginning of this entire radio show that I up and moved to Atlanta, Georgia. Right. That was not comfortable for me. I didn't even have anything in place for that move. I literally did not have a place to live, did not have a vehicle, did not have a job or income at the time. I literally took a huge leap of faith because I was trusting and obeying what the Lord had prepared me to do. Okay, and told me where to go. And so I did it. I took the leap of faith. And I can see now his purpose for that and kind of can see, okay, I see you navigating me. But if I was unwilling to leave my house, because I had a house, I had a car, I had income, I had my things, here. But it wasn't comfortable here either. Let's be clear. What I had was security, but it wasn't safe. Okay. What I had was security, but it was not safe. And so if I wasn't willing to take the leap of faith, I would have been choosing to stay in discomfort, which would have it would have become a worse situation. The home that I was in at the time would have become worse for me to stay in. So I would have had to leave that home anyway. Okay. Because the rent went up, the property was not, up to par. and things like that. And so we've got to be brave enough to take a leap. We've got to be brave enough to change the trajectory of our lives. And we got to be brave enough to push beyond our circumstances. If you're in circumstances like me of life that you just simply don't want to be in, you're ready for the next level, you're ready for the next step, then start to show up as your best self. And I'm showing my hands too for those of you who are watching. I'm showing my hands on purpose because I don't know if anybody's battling depression or anything like that, but in terms of that, I had chronic depression years ago. And so my lifelines are making sure that my nails are done because I always see my hands. I always can look to my hands. And so I make sure my nails are done and make sure I comb my hair, right? Because those things keep me afloat, right? They keep me afloat. They let me know if I'm doing good, if I'm not doing good. Those are telltale signs for me. Okay. And so you've got to be in tune with you enough so that you can say, like, this shit hurts and I don't want it anymore. I don't want it. I don't want it anymore. You've got to get so fed up with it that you start to make changes and move forward towards the you know you can be, towards the life that you desire. And sometimes just taking the freaking leap of faith, jumping and moving states. Sometimes you just have to take that leap. Okay. So it's simply human nature to remain more committed to a familiar discomfort than to an unfamiliar new possibility. That's from Lisa Nichols, her book Abundance Now. Okay. And so I hope that you get comfortable being uncomfortable and know that you're worthy of that newness. Okay. So our devotional is from James chapter 4, verse 1 through 3. Okay. And I'm going to read that. It's a couple of verses that I'm going to read, but they're short. Okay. And so James chapter 4, verse 1 through 3 says this. It says, "What causes fights and quarrels among you? Don't they come from your desires that battle within you? You want something, but don't get it. You kill and covet, but you cannot have what you want. You quarrel and fight. You do not have because you do not ask. When you ask, you do not receive because you ask with wrong motives, that you may spend what you get on your pleasures." Okay. And so here I wanted to say, ask for it. Ask for it, right? It says that when you ask, you do not receive because you ask with wrong motives, that you may spend what you get on your pleasures. I think we're all pretty guilty of that. Because sometimes you think that what you want, what you're praying for, you think it might be best for everybody, but it's really to please you. I think we're all guilty of that at some point because we could still be coming from a good place. It's just self-focused, right? But also, what am I fighting for? If I have to fight you for something, like starting fights and quarrels, if I have to fight you for what I want for my life or myself, then what I'm going to do, well, it says you battle because of your desires within. Okay. Oh, it says they don't come. Hold on, y'all. This says, don't they come from your desires that battle within you? Okay. You want something and you don't get it. You kill and covet, right? And there's no need for that because again, we can ask God for what we want. Because killing and coveting other people's, other people, or just fighting with them for what? For what? For what? People are so confused by me sometimes because I'm not going to beg you for anything. I may ask you once. And most of the time people say, why didn't you ask me? Because I prayed about it. What do I need to ask you for? I prayed about it. I have seen God work so much through other people that I hardly have to ask other people for things. I pray about it. I ask. And what I've recognized is that God will put you on the heart and minds of others without you telling them. God will put you on the hearts and minds of others to where they say, oh, girl, come do this, or hey man, like, let's go do XYZ, or how you doing? Did you get what I sent you? And so you just never know. But when we ask, we have to ask with clear hearts and minds, and honestly, it's kind of weird to say this for me personally today, but everything we ask for has to be in line with God's will, not our will for our lives, his will for our lives. And so again, here, like, you do not receive because you ask with wrong motives. Like, y'all, I've been asking God, get me out of the situation that you put me in, right? Why? Why? Because I'm over it, right? I'm over it. But that's not his plan. That's not his will, you know? And the thing about it is, when we stop kicking and screaming to get what other people have, or to get away from what we think we have or what we're facing, we miss out on all the lessons and the blessings in that season of life. And then we're not prepared for the next season that we need to go to. So ask for it. Stop fighting another human. Stop fighting with another human. Ask God in prayer. Ask God to clear your heart, clear your mind, and to grant you what it is you're desiring, or show you where you need to shift so that you can be in the right position to receive what he has for you. And also, y'all, be open to the fact that what God has for us may not look like what we thought it would look like, but it is what we asked for. Okay? Because sometimes we ask for things, and we have to go on this journey and through this, over the river and through the woods type of thing. But where we're going to is what we asked for. And sometimes we don't like the path to get to what we asked for. But, God's not a genie in a bottle. It's going to take obedience. It's going to take right positioning. It's going to take believing every step of the way. Okay. So that's one part. Okay. Verse 7 and 8, 7, 8, and 10 says this: submit yourselves then to God, resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Come near to God, and he will come near to you. Wash your hands, you sinners, and purify your hearts, you double-minded. Verse 10 says, humble yourselves before the Lord, and he will lift you up. And so even that, like I just said, stop fighting each other. That's what the enemy would want you to do. The enemy would want you to fight each other, hate each other. And I've told y'all, like, I hate some people's behaviors. I absolutely do not like it. Okay. I don't agree with it. I've been ready to smack somebody. Okay. But the thing about it is, if God loves them and I'm called to love my enemies, you hands off, right? Hands off. I want them to know, listen, okay? Don't play with me. I want them to know, don't play with me, because I have hands. However, I want you to see my power in restraint. I want you to see that I'm not giving you any room to mess with me. Okay? I'm not going to play in your game, right? So resist the devil and he will flee, because if you're not playing on the playground of the enemy, then they look foolish, very foolish. Okay? And you go about your business. Humble yourself, right? Humble yourself enough that you don't have to defend what's not worthy of your time or efforts. I don't have to defend something that ain't my problem. It's your problem. It's not my problem. What do I need to defend it for? You have a problem, right? So if you have a problem, I'm not going to take that problem on with myself because you want to quarrel. Okay? What I will do is let you have it. You got it. And bravo, you win. You win. Because if I put myself in the fight, it won't be humble at all. It won't be, I'll humbly give you these hands. That's what it will be. Okay? And so we have to submit ourselves to God. Okay? Like, go pray. I know y'all hear me say, I'll be on the floor with the Lord, because I'm giving him all my complaints. I'm giving him all of my problems. I'm giving him all of my attitude. And I'm giving him all of my praise, all of my thanks, all of those things, right? And I'm doing that here because we have to be humble, okay? We have to be humble before the Lord and let God do it. Let God do it. That battle's not yours. It's not yours to worry about it. It's not yours to try to rush around. Y'all ever wonder, we try to fix our own problems. We rush ourselves into a panic and still don't get it done. You still got to wait on God to do it. And he may do it in the next day. He may do it in the next 30 days, right? But worry not. Don't worry yourself. Don't worry yourself sick, okay? Resist the devil and he will flee, because only people that are mentally unstable, will keep up stuff. And when they do that, that's when we go, oh, poor baby. He or she is sick. Let me go pray for them. Lord, deliver them. Lord, help them. Lord, heal them where they hurt. This is not my problem. It's their problem, right? Okay, so be mindful of that, y'all. And I was going to read verse 13 through 15, okay? 13 through 15. This is chapter 4 of the book of James. Says, now listen, you who say today or tomorrow we will go to this or that city, spend a year there, carry on business, and make money. Why, you do not even know what will happen tomorrow, okay? What is your life? You are a mist that appears for a little while and then vanishes. And so that kind of goes to the point of what I've been, 15. Verse 15 says, instead, you ought to say, if it is the Lord's will, we will live and do this or that. And yes, that's a part of being humble too, y'all. Some of us are so proud and so I did it, it wasn't God, it was me. So dead wrong. We're so dead wrong, right? I woke me up this morning. Okay, no, you didn't, but okay, if you think that, good for you, right? But we get so forward focused, y'all, that we forget today. We forget that today is a gift. We forget that today we can show up for ourselves. We forget that today we can move our bodies. We have activity of our limbs. We forget all the blessings of the day because we're rushing to tomorrow, y'all. And tomorrow is not a gift to us that we just can make magic happen. It is not. Tomorrow is just another blessing of today, right? Tomorrow is another today. And if we get to that, of course, it's Lord willing. It's Lord willing. You're not God. It's a blessing. Every day it's a blessing. And so this is why we should seize the day. One of my St. Louis people here, Candy, she says carpe diem all the time. Carpe diem all the time. Seize the day. Seize the opportunities. Be good to you and be good to others. Okay? Because in doing that, you're getting the best out of the time you have right now. And I know there's a song that says like, live like we're dying. And I don't think that means to take risks in order that you might possibly die. I think that it means to live well and cherish each moment that we have. Okay. Love while you're able to love. Tell people, like my people know, I tell them that I hope they know I love them because I try to show it often. I definitely try to show love, show up for people, show support for people, and just let them know, like, I'm here for you, right? So live your best life every day. Live well every day, and don't take tomorrow for granted. Okay. So that was our devotional time, y'all. For today. Remember to go to my website, www.stalkyourdestiny.com. And you can go to that website and you can get my books. There are like 16 books on there. Until and Then Again, Chronicles of a Narcissist's Wife. This Love, His Love, which says finding love is never easy, especially God's love. That is a novel. The ABCs to Stalk Your Destiny and the ABCs to Stalk Your Financial Destiny. Both are interactive books on leadership and mindset. Permeate Rants and Lessons on Life and Love. That is from my very first year of teaching Tea Time with Tarah. Then there are the Earthly Branches, a 12-book devotional series, which again, we still have 10 books that are currently published. I will let you know when the final 2 are done, which will be soon whenever I just do it. But of course, I can't write those books without God's leading. So I have 1 final book to write, 2 final books of that to publish. But you can get any of my books at www.stalkyourdestiny.com. Now, while you're there on the website, you might as well click the tab that says Live and On Air. Scroll down just a little bit, and you can see our sponsorship packages for how you can support the show. We are going places. We are growing every week, y'all. Every week that we're live, we're growing this audience and we're growing this show. There are things being done in the background for the direction of the show as well. So we need sponsorships. So I can show up like this every day. We need sponsorships so that I can have the airtime every month as well. And then I can showcase what people in the community are doing or have to offer as well, so that those of us who tune in may have an opportunity to support other businesses and things like that as well. So scroll down to that page that says Live and On Air. You can see the sponsorship packages. You can click the button there that says become a sponsor, and that'll guide you to where you can do that. Also, if you're already on the website, stalkyourdestiny.com, and you say, I don't want to sponsor the show, Tarah. I don't necessarily want to be a sponsor, but I would love to donate because I love what you're doing. I'm here for it. Then you can donate through the website as well. Just click the donate tab on the website at stalkyourdestiny.com. Okay. And on the website, if you just want to connect with me, leave me a message, then send me an inbox. Send me a message, you can communicate with me there. Everything is at stalkyourdestiny.com, y'all. That's www.stalkyourdestiny.com. Okay. And that's for sponsorships. That's for connecting with me. And that is for donations, y'all. Also to check out any of my books, products there on my website. Okay. I hope you all are enjoying the show so far. I'm enjoying the show so far. I'm listening to me. You ever been speaking to somebody and you just be listening to, because what we speak out our mouths, y'all, we regurgitate, like we hear, we digest it as well. So be mindful of what you say too, because what you say, you digest it right back into your own system. So be mindful of that. But our business topic of the week is get ready. It's happening. Okay. Get ready. It's happening. And our business topic of the week is brought to you by Zeal Sweet Flavored Tea. That is also on my website as well. And Zeal Sweet Flavored Tea is made with love. And so here I wrote, get ready, it's happening. I wrote, remember what you prayed for. Okay. I love how God brings the show together because all I get is the outline. All I get downloaded. I create an outline according to what God tells me to write for the show. And I don't have a script, you all. I do not follow a script. I only have my show outline. And so I love how God always brings the show full circle, always brings it together, always runs it together, right? So get ready. It's happening. How do we get ready, right? So here I said, remember what you prayed for. But it's so funny because we were just talking about don't quarrel with other people. Pray for, praying for things that is in alignment with God's will, right? And believing for those things, right? And humbling yourself, right? So this says, remember what you prayed for. Sometimes in remembering what you prayed for, I wrote here, seek it out, look for signs and evidence, right? And so when God speaks to you, this is why I tell people, when you go to bed, if you have questions and concerns, and you want to pray about it, but you want evidence, write down your questions, leave space, right? Write down your questions or concerns or your prayers. Write down your prayers, right? In a notebook or a journal. Keep that next to your bed or in reach for you so that when you wake up in the morning, you may have heard from the Lord. And that's usually how it works too. My mom used to say, I think it was my mom, she used to say, when you wake up in the morning, you will know. And of course, as a young person, you're like, no, what? Like, what are you talking about? But sometimes when you have questions and you present them to the Lord, which your prayer is a request, you're petitioning something to the Lord, right? In prayer. I'm bringing this concern to you. I'm bringing this thankfulness, gratefulness to you, God, or whatever it is, right? I need help. I need strategy. I need my eyes open. I need my heart worked on, whatever it is, right? You're presenting that, petitioning it to the Lord, right? And so sometimes you forget what you prayed for and then you get it and you don't even realize it, or like it's on the way, right? So for this purpose of get ready, it's happening. Don't forget what you prayed for. Don't forget what you asked for, because you're being positioned and that's almost done, right? You're being positioned for what you prayed for. And if you don't remember what it is, go back and look through your notes. I literally have to go back through my notes because what I've seen was some of the things that I prayed for that are happening. I didn't finish preparing the way for it. I didn't finish. Like, you have to tie up loose strings, right? You got to tie up the loose strings so that when it comes and it's in your hands, it doesn't run through your hands like water. Okay. So this means you need to have the capacity to hold it. You need the capacity to obtain what it is that you prayed for. So be mindful of that. Be mindful that I prayed for this, right? And when I say look for signs and evidence, literally you all have to open your eyes and mind to seeing these things. Because sometimes, have you ever prayed for a person with poor behavior and then they start acting kind and they don't know about your prayers, but they start doing things? You like, man, what's gotten into so and so, right? Well, you forgot what you prayed for. That's what's happening. It's a miracle right in front of your face happening. Even if they don't stay the same, that's up to them to really make to embody the change, right? But that's still evidence of what you prayed for over here. Um, God's doing the work over here, right? And so we have to be mindful of that. Be mindful to look out for signs, look out for wonders, seek out what you pray for. So when you start writing your prayers and asking for God for stuff, right? And I'm gonna get to this business wise too. Get ready, it's happening business wise. Okay, this is the business topic of the week too. Position yourself. Get ready for it to happen. If that means you need to hire a team, then start figuring out what that looks like. If you need to put standard operating procedures in place, figure out how to do that. What way are you using? What strategy are you using to do that? If that means that you need to iron your freaking clothes so you can go to work and get a promotion, it's happening, right? So you've got to show up like it's already done. You've got to show up like it's already done. And you've got to believe it, embody it, and walk it out. If y'all don't think, listen, I'm just gonna tell you, I show up on this show like I'm pitching networks. And guess what I'm getting ready to do? I'm getting ready to create a pitch deck to pitch networks. Okay? That's what I'm doing. To pitch networks. I show up here like this is my job because this is my job. This is what I do, right? And so get ready. It's happening. And that does not discount all the years behind the scenes. That doesn't discount all the years of building, you all. It means it's about to happen for you. Get excited. Be in right position. Okay. And to seek it out, sometimes that means on our part, we have some work to do. Like me, I just said, I have to create a pitch deck. I didn't think about a pitch deck until this morning. And I've created several pitch decks for clients in the past. And I didn't think about it for me for this purpose until this morning. For this to be on a network, I need to design a pitch deck for myself and I need to pitch it to networks. Okay. I made a list of networks. God had already told me to do that. I did it. But I didn't have that piece. Now, this morning, God dropped it in my spirit. You need a pitch deck. Get ready, y'all. It's happening. Getting ready is work. Seeking it out means seeking out also, what do I need to do for this? Because it's coming my way. I see it. It's coming my way. Right? What do I need to do? Like, I got to remember, what did I pray? What did I actually want? What did I pray for? What did I pray about? Or whatever. And just look for those signs and evidence. Another thing that I wrote here was move towards it. And so it's kind of all running together, right? So also in seeking it out too, y'all, I may have mentioned this before as well, under a different topic, excuse me. Be open to unconventional blessings. Be open to things happening unconventionally, meaning that it may look like you're taking a step or two backwards, but in reality, you're just going around something that you're avoiding, right? Or that God is keeping you from to get to the other place, okay? It may be an obstacle or something that looks like a delay, but it's not, okay? It may look like a hindrance to you, but it's not. And so be mindful that it's a part of the journey. Be mindful that it's just a part of the plan, And I like to think of it like a board game, and something what is that? Monopoly. I play Monopoly with my sons all the time. And when we go to jail, y'all, we get happy. We get happy when we have to go to jail because somebody has bought up all the property and we're trying to avoid going to Park Place and going to the Green Street, on the board of Monopoly or whatever. And so we're happy to go to jail because don't nobody want to go down that street. Nobody wants to have to pay all that money, right? And yes, it's a game. And it's also, it prevents us from collecting $200 when we pass go. but it saves us from something. And so that can be unconventional in reality when you're going to a location, or you have a destination in mind, and God's like, oh no, go left here. What? I'm right here at it. Go left. Lord, it's right in front of me. Go left. Right? Go left. And then later down the line, you may see, oh, that was a bad deal. Oh, that was corruption involved in that. Oh, I would have hated that job, even though I begged and pleaded for it and thought I was more than qualified for. I would have hated it. Right? And so we never know what's being kept from us and held up from us in terms of something that doesn't necessarily belong to us. You never know. And so even me, like I said, I'm kicking and screaming in places that God has put me sometimes. And well, sometimes I'm kicking and screaming or whatever. But at the end of the day, I understand what it means to be grounded. I understand what it means to be planted. I understand what it means to be observant of people and places and things while in the environment. And I know how to use those things to my advantage to help other people. And so for me personally, I have to look at all of my obstacles as an opportunity to help someone else in the future, because that's just how I'm programmed, because that's just how God made. I don't have all these books because I ain't go through nothing in life. I have these books because God allowed me to face obstacles to where I can come out, or I can have a show called The Freaking Tea Time with Tarah, live and on air, where I can come out and encourage you through things, right? And even this journal, it says, roll through what you go through. This is not my journey. It's not my production or product. I didn't create this. I bought it. Okay. And it says, I didn't buy. I think someone actually gifted this to me. This was gifted to me. Roll through what you go through is what it says. Okay. And so that's what we have to do when we find ourselves in those places. Just remember what you prayed for. Seek it out. Look for signs of evidence. Look internally for signs of evidence. Like, man, I'm changing. I'm changing. Like, I don't even like some of the people I hang around. Or man, I'm so inspired and motivated by the people I hang around. Look at what God has done, right? Like, look at the business circles I'm in. Look at the rooms I'm able to walk in. Look at the phone calls I can make, just from this or that connection. All right. Get ready. It's happening, y'all. And so get your courage up, get your strength up, get your bravery up. Okay. Keep your humility though. Because if you don't, God will humble you real quick. Okay. Be humble about it. But move towards it. Okay. And I don't care if you have to move towards it afraid. I don't care. Okay. Believe in yourself enough to go forward. And again, if it starts with you just showing up for you, because it starts really internally. Get ready, it's happening means like, am I ready to receive what I asked for? And so even when I'm saying like, look on the outside, how you feel on the inside, and with me showing up, like, this is how I feel, y'all. This is how I want to look every day, because this is how I desire to feel every day. This shows you what's going on the inside of me, how I think of myself. Okay. And in moving towards that thing, that means that I have to check my mind and my emotions, right? And my mouth. Okay. We got to check what we think, what we feel, and what we speak as we're going towards what we prayed for. Because sometimes what you prayed for requires a metamorphosis. It requires you to change. It requires you to be secluded, y'all. Now, I said kicking and screaming in the place that God put me, and it's been, grounding me, in a place of grounding. And that's perfectly fine. But when a butterfly goes into a cocoon, it's locked in. It's locked in, and you typically don't come out of that cocoon until you have gone through the entire transformation. What does that mean? That means that something inside of us must die in order for us to go to the next level, right? Getting ready, it's happening means sometimes you have to give up old ways of thinking, old behaviors, addictions, right? Or even habits that, I think that we, as a people, I think that we have a situation where, because it's not an addiction or out of control, we may not consider it a habit that we need to release. Okay. And it doesn't need to be out of control if it's not serving you or where you want to go. Okay. And what I mean by that is I I drink alcohol. Okay. But for me, I've been hearing myself say, I'm gonna stop drinking. I'm gonna stop drinking. I'm gonna stop drinking. Has it happened yet? No. Have I gone towards it? Yeah. Have I gone backwards? Yeah. Do I have a drinking problem? Absolutely not. But do I have a problem with me drinking? Yes. I have a problem with me drinking. Okay. Even if it's a little sometimes, sometimes I'm okay. And sometimes I'm just like, I don't want to deal with that, or whatever. What that means is something in me. And that's connected to, let me just be very clear with you all. That is connected to my childhood trauma, right? Which I healed from the big part of the trauma, but the effects of the trauma, sometimes you have to break the effects of the trauma off as well. You can heal from the thing, and then you have to break the rest of the things off. And so, even if you're on your job, if you're in your life, if you're a parent, if you're whatever in your friend circle, right? And you don't have a habit that's out of control, but you have a habit that you want to lose. You have a habit that you see is not serving you. It is not something that people are going to look down on you for, like, oh, you had a drink. Okay. People think that's normal. They have a drink every day and they think that's normal, right? But if it's not good for you for where you want to go, you've got to let that thing go. You've got to let that thing go. I don't know if y'all noticed, like, I know I curse like a sailor usually, but for some reason, okay, getting on this show lately, I've been cursing less and less and less. And I've noticed it for myself. Even DC noticed it too. I've been cursing less. The places where I could put these words in naturally, okay, I've been cursing less. And so when you start to see the evidence of you moving towards what you prayed for, moving towards what's happening for you, and you're being positioned, accept it. Accept it, especially if it's for your good, that it only will make you a healthier, happier, more whole human being. Accept those changes. And yes, it's a process. It is a process, okay? Because I'm not going to get on here today and be like, oh, yeah, I'm done with drinking today. I'm not going to do that. What I will say is drinking is a habit I'm working to release. It's not an addiction. I'm not overdoing it. However, it is a habit I desire to release. Now, cursing again is it's attached to. I just did a video on Instagram, I think last night, a story. I did not curse like a sailor until I was ending my marriage, and my therapist had to point it out to me that it was like a survival tactic that I was picking up, right? And so, if you know anything about navigating toxic people and things, and some with labels, if you know anything about navigating those situations, then you know that it's a fight to come out of that. It's a fight to come out of it. And so that's when I started cursing, because I started to get my voice. Remember, Tea Time with Tarah. You have a voice and it needs to be heard. Why do you think I do that? Because that's what God said to me. I have a voice and it needs to be heard. And I was not being heard. I did not have a voice. The enemy wanted me to shut up all the time. Like, you talk too much is what I heard every day. You talk too much. You ask too many questions. You talk too much. Shut up sometimes. I heard that every day. Every day. And so that's where the cursing came from. The cursing now is like, who the fuck are you talking to? Why are you talking to me like that? It's a thing of protection, a defense mechanism, right? So lately, I've noticed that the words have been coming less. Okay, now in my personal life, I think they've been coming less too, actually, but I would have to ask my friends that because they listen to me talk. So I would have to ask them that. But I know for sure on the show, it's been happening less and less and less. Why is that? That is because it may not be an addiction, but it is a habit that I desire to release. And where I'm going may require that to be no more. Okay. I desire networks. Okay. Some networks you can curse on, some networks you can't. But for whoever God desires this show for, whoever God desires your gifts for, hey, your gifts are not for you. They may help you. You know, God can work through you to heal you as you help others. However, your gifts are for others, right? And so, whatever that means in your business, whatever that means in your mindset, whatever that means in your relationship or in your parenting, y'all, we don't talk enough about being better parents, but whatever that means for you, get ready. It's happening. This is about a great thing happening. It's happening for you. It's happening for you. And it's not happening because of you. It's happening because God chose you. It's happening because God had that thing for you. Get ready. Get prepared. Start to take off those layers. Start to talk to a counselor or a therapist. Start to open up about what things you've been dealing with. Okay? Start to allow joy to come into your life. There's nothing wrong with having joy, y'all. I noticed that when some of us, me and my friend circle, right? When some of us are having good days, I'm asking the question like, why is that bad? Why is that a bad thing? Like, you sound like you had a great day. Why is that a bad thing? What's behind that? Right? So get ready, like start getting used to having joy. Start getting used to having peace. Start getting used to a calm spirit, right? Because you don't have to be anxious anymore because you're not going to be walking on eggshells at work. You're not going to be walking on eggshells in your relationships. You're not going to be walking on eggshells when you go to speak to your parents, if you're going to speak to your parents, you know, or your children. Get ready. What you prayed for, God heard it. This is not, I don't even, y'all, some people will tell you, oh, this is a prophetic message. I don't know what this message is. This is just what I have an outline. I don't have a script. Okay. So if this is prophetic for you, then, you know, praise the Lord. If this is just, you know, God telling you like confirmation for you, praise God. Whatever this is for you, if this is a wake up call for you, get ready. It's happening. It is happening for you, but there is work required for you to do. There are things required for you to let go of. Okay. Release the old you and walk into the new. Because everything you want, that life that you desire, walk into it. Walk into it. Show up from the inside out. Okay. And that's just start there. Here it says move towards it and prepare for a yes. Prepare for a yes. Okay. We prepare for the no so much, but y'all, I learned a long time ago in Marketing 101 that, yeah, you seek out the no's, right? You seek out the no's because you need 99 no's and one yes. So you seek out the no's and you hold on for the yes. Okay. But here it says, prepare for a yes. While you may be seeking out the no's, all you're doing is greeting people. This in marketing. In marketing, all you're doing is saying, hey, how you doing? Come over here. Hey, let me show you. Hey, let me show you what I have over here. Hey, you know, that blouse looks great. Let me show you what this is, you know, or this will look great on you, whatever, right? All you're doing is practicing. All you're doing is positioning yourself. All you're doing is making yourself available. So prepare for a yes. I don't know what you're asking for. I don't know what you're praying about. I don't know where you want your life to go. And y'all too, I don't even know if it's related to money. But it seems a lot of things are related to money. However, I have decided in myself that I'm not praying for money anymore. I'm praying for open door opportunities and purposed partnerships. And I mean, opportunities and resources, open door opportunities and resources and purposed partnerships. Okay. Because with those things, the currency of income flows. Okay. The currency of income flows within those things. And so I don't know if what you're needing is financial, you know, but whatever it is, wherever you're going, get ready. It's happening. Prepare for a yes. Okay. Now, when you guys go forward in this week, here's what I want you to take with you. Affirm yourself. I'm going to say my affirmations again because they might be for you now that you've heard the entire message. Okay. I am who I believe I will be in the future now. I am who I believe I will be in the future now. I have the ability to change my point of view and outlook. Okay. I will embody all the parts of me that make me me. And y'all, that's the best thing that people look for too is you. They want you. They want you because it's you, not because you're pretending to be him or her. They want you because it's you. It's something about you. Okay. So I will embody all parts of my being that make me me. And today will be a see it, believe it, be it day. Okay. So don't forget to do your affirmations as much as you can. If you do them every Monday, then that's on you. That's fine. I do them on Mondays. But if you need to do them every day, do them. Affirm yourself. Okay. Stop seeking validation outside of you. Affirm yourself. Okay. Our food for thought quote was, because it's simply human nature to remain more committed to a familiar discomfort than to an unfamiliar new possibility, from Lisa Nichols' book, Abundance Now. And with that, move away from your familiar discomforts. Move away from the familiar discomforts. Take that leap of faith to the unfamiliar, because the unfamiliar could be way more beautiful than you ever imagined. Okay? Move away from that. For our devotional time, I read from James chapter 4, and I moved around on the verses that I read. However, go back and read the Bible for yourself. James chapter 4. It's not long at all. It might take you a minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes, I don't know, to read. It's very short. Okay, it's very short. So that's James chapter 4. And our business topic of the week is get ready. It's happening. Okay. This has been Tea Time with Tarah, live and on air. I am your host, Tarah M. Williams, the voice of faith, hope, love, and leadership. Here we discuss business and Bible basics. We believe you have a voice and it needs to be heard. Again, y'all, if you have not already, because I have way more listeners live than I do subscribers on YouTube, please go to my YouTube channel and hit the subscribe button. Also, click the notification bell so that you can be notified every time I go live or upload a new short or video of the Tea Time with Tarah show, where I interview guests and ask them what they need on their journey to stalking their destiny. We're here every Monday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 1 p.m. Central, and I hope to see you next Monday. Share this with somebody. Let them know where they can find me. Also, if you want to be a sponsor or make a donation or purchase a product, please be sure to visit www.stalkyourdestiny.com and hit the tab at the top for whatever it is you are looking for. Enjoy it. Y'all have a beautiful, beautiful week. I'll be back here next Monday at 2 p.m. See you then. Bye. Guess we're waiting.
I'm staying chasing, I'm staying focused on what I'm gonna be. I'm making that down, but I won't lose ground, 'cause I'm still stuck in my destiny.
I'm still stuck in my destiny. Every time it's on everything, alive, you cheesing, I'm cheddaring. No matter the form of the weaponry, gotta keep stalking my destiny. Time's getting worse, I'm bettering. My sin is secure, ain't no tethering. I ain't gonna stop till I rest in peace and they put the heart on my great lettering. Every time, I ain't lay back unless I'm in my 300. Circle is little, cause I keep it 100. Minus my issues, I'm so hard when I'm on it. 100% ain't enough, I get 200. Every time, know what I'ma run from. I'm that one opponent, you don't want none from. Manual vet where my strength get pumped from. So let's go ride to the child of God. Standing toe to toe, hot now. The Lord is with me, you can't fight the rock. I got the sauce, you want out of high. The destiny mine, I'ma stalk it out. The strength is having, you just bought it out. Your giant carcass, I'ma walk it out. You gon' be wishing that you wouldn't have called me out. Cause every time be on that throw down, let's get us a showdown. Come and get some, I got another go around. Big as it is, so hard they go down. Since destiny something we can't change, but quitting will stop you from great gains. And faith will make capable great things. I done decided to break pain. Lives around and call me on my A game, so speed like the A train. The thing that I'm stalking on, I gotta maintain. All by myself, I don't gang bang. When you want to get in my crown, then I'm down every time, not just now and then. Yeah, I heard you got your thousands, but me, yo, I got my 10,000s. God gave me dreams doing that I would chest it.
I'm staying chasing, I'm staying focused